T1 Cunningham. This is the fastest tank at Tier 1, but lacks armor. It also has a pretty dangerous gun, as it will burst 3 bullets every time you pull the trigger. You can pull the trigger 5 times before your mag runs out. These kind of guns are called auto-loaders. Reloading the mag takes about 10 seconds, but firing each shot takes about 0.2 before you run out of ammo and need to reload the clip. If your clip didn't run out but you still want to reload, you can reload your clip by pressing that C button. If you can hit the enemy with 4 out of the 5 bursts in the clip, you will most likely kill them. Thanks to how fast this tank is, we are able to beat anybody else to the hill. The only other tank that was able to get up here before me was another T1 Cunningham.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Now that we are here, I can use the bush to cover my tank and shoot the enemy. Note that until I fire my gun, they don't know I'm here, so make sure to fire 1 or 2 shots, then pull back into cover before they can return fire. That T1 Cunningham seems to be coming up to the hill where I am. I'm guessing this because he is driving to the entrance to the hill, so I'm waiting in an ambush position. I can't seem to spot him, so I'll move to a different position, hoping I can spot him. There he is. Turns out he didn't come onto the hill, but foolishly drove in the middle of the field. At least if he came up on the hill, he would have a vantage point, with cover and a clear view of the map. Since this tank is a bit farther away, I'm waiting for that little circle around the reticule to get smaller. This is what we call aiming time. The longer you wait for it to get smaller, the more accurate your shots will be. I am taking hits and I don't have the gun depression to shoot back. Gun depression is how far down I can point my gun. He's lower than me, so I wasn't able to point my gun to him. So instead of sitting here losing health, I decide to move back and drive to a better place to shoot him, one with level ground for my gun depression, and with bushes for cover. This spot has a bush though. Notice I'm moving my tank in different spots trying to find level ground or a slight decline in the ground that will allow me to point my gun at him. Notice the aiming triangle thing is red. This means I can't penetrate this person's tank. Either I'm too far away, which is the case, or that tank has too much armor, but none of the Tier 1 tanks have enough armor for it to turn red. I am simply too far away. This only happens with auto-loading type guns at low tiers. So instead of firing ineffectively, I move forward. I stop in this bush hoping to spot him without being spotted myself, but he is in a bush as well and I can't see him. I really want another kill so I can get the Top Gun award, which is to have the most amount of kills, but I need 6 kills minimum. The only reason I'm driving in the middle of an open field when I know there's an enemy waiting for me is because I can use that dead tank as cover. This guy got lucky. With one shot he managed to destroy my turret controls and kill my commander, who is also the gunner for this tank.
Enemy armor is damaged. Bail out. This vehicle has had it.
LTR. This tank may not be the fastest, but it comes close. But it does have the most maneuverability, which means it turns the fastest, which makes dodging enemy bullets easier. The gun is very accurate and doesn't take much time to aim. The damage is a bit low, but the fast reload makes up for it, ripping apart your enemy with each shot. The gun I'm using is actually the stock gun, which means it's not the upgraded gun, but personally, I think the upgraded gun isn't good because it does very low damage and low penetration, very inaccurate, and can't damage anything more than roughly 300 meters away. This is personal preference.
Gegnerisches Fahrzeug ausgeschaltet. Der ging voll durch ihre Panzerung. Wir haben sie nicht mal angekratzt. Wir haben sie nicht mal angekratzt. Kritischer Treffer. Der ging nicht durch. Erwischt. Unser Munitionslager wurde getroffen. Wir haben sie nicht mal angekratzt. Wirkungstreffer. Der Motor. Sie haben uns. Raus.
MS-1. This tank is definitely slower than the other two, but it does have more armor. Sadly, it's not enough to stop most shells, but some small caliber shells will bounce off your tank and high explosive shells won't do as much damage. Unlike any of the other tier 1 tanks, This tank's turret armor is actually pretty good. Unfortunately, that big cylinder on top is a weak spot and will be penetrated by enemy guns. The gun of this tank has above average damage and penetration, but the accuracy and aiming time can let you down at times. You absolutely need to aim this gun before firing it or it will just miss.
Уничтожен. Есть пробитие. Пробитие. Уничтожен. Уничтожен. Повреждение гусеницы. Шанс разрыва увеличен. Эхлот контужен. Скорость движения и поворотов снижена. Пробитие. Готов. Бой начинается. Пробитие. Есть пробитие. Уничтожен.
Headshot.
Уничтожен. Пробитие. 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 Уничтожен. Уничтожен. Пробитие. Попадание. Уничтожен. Готов. Есть попадание. Рикошет. Готов.
Medium. Due to its large size, This tank is easy hit and is very slow and has the worst armor of all the tier 1s. But most of the tier 1's armor was bad anyway, so don't let that turn you off, because this tank has the biggest gun of any tier 1. The gun is horribly inaccurate and has a long aiming time and reload, but if you can hit the enemy, it will take off half to 2/3 of their health, which can really shock them.
Enemy is hit. Got him. The gunner's injured. He'll have a hard time hitting anything. Enemy vehicle destroyed. Enemy armor is hit. Enemy armor is damaged. Critical hit. Gotcha.
Atsu-1. This tank has the best armor of any of the tier 1 tanks, but don't expect to be invincible. You need proper angling and techniques to use your armor effectively, mainly a technique called side scraping. Although the tank's turret armor is pretty good, don't expect it to bounce many enemy bullets. Avoid showing it too much. The gun is fairly standard, doing an average amount of damage with decent accuracy. The tank is definitely on the lower end of the tier 1 tank speed. It's not the slowest, but definitely not the fastest. I'm not going to explain the French or Chinese tanks because the French tank is just bad in general, really bad, and the Chinese is just a complete copy but worse. God damn it, China.